Last match today is surely one of the most thrilling of the day when there were so many crazy results. It's Newcastle United against a West Ham side cruelly hit by injury and without a point so far. And watching the game with me is the West Ham manager John Lyall. So West Ham's troubles were really mounting when they arrived at St James's Park yesterday. Newcastle United against West Ham, a match that was covered by Tyne Tees Television, the commentators Kenneth Wolstenholme with Newcastle in the stripes.
Jennings back to Holland, but Gray in quickly, and he's obstructed. Blackhall to take the kick. Cassidy. Now Burns has got a chance, a nice flick onto him. And that's a goal. A lovely flick onto Burns, and Burns through the goalkeeper. So Day, the dummy, Day went to his left, and Burns just steered it very beautifully. The Day's right, just inside the post, the far post. Twice seen Mickey Burns find room over on the right. Once he forced Day to a save, and the second time he gets the ball in the net. So perhaps a lesson there for United. Now Cassidy into Craig. That was a good shot from Tommy Craig. On that occasion, Mervyn Day was equal to it. He saw it well, covered it well. Some good clearance to Lampard. Robson. Now Mitchell against the West Ham team seems quite easily robbed. And there's a great shot and a goal by Cassidy. Well, fully 35-40 yards. And that was set up for him by the young number 8, Keith Mitchell, who squared the ball to Cassidy. There seemed no danger at all. Cassidy almost nonchalantly hit it, and hit it so hard that Mervyn Day was left flying through the air and groping only at air. Cassidy to McLean. Well, that was telegraphed and well read by Jennings. Up comes Tommy Taylor. West Ham move forward, albeit rather laboriously. Field for offside, not given. So it's Robson. Snaps up the rebound. Jennings, took it down beautifully and scored well. Argument in the Newcastle defence. But Robson was the man who sent over that inch-perfect centre. Jennings cleverly breasted it down, and one would have thought he could have been challenged. He breasted it down, hit it into the roof of the net. Taylor to Devonshire, slips Craig very cleverly. Robson has escaped the offside trap, and it's a corner kick. And Newcastle are playing this offside game just a wee bit too much. They were coming up very early then. Robson was able to see them do it, snapped up that ball, was well onside, and almost managed to chip it over Mahoney. Obviously the man who intercepted could have been a very good pass. Now, obviously to Robson. Holland is onside. Jennings, it must be an equaliser. Yes, it is, by Alan Taylor. 4 minutes of the second half gone. And Holland put away down the right. And pulls his centre across very, very neatly. Catches the defence on the wrong foot. and the ball goes through to Alan Taylor, who has all the time in the world to knock it into the back of the net. Curbishley. And a foul by Kennedy on Curbishley. And Kennedy is going to be booked for that. Yes, the card has come out. And Lampard is appealing to the referee not to, and the referee is going to do it. He's already had the yellow card out. The notebook is there. So that's the second name in the referee's book. First was Tommy Taylor of West Ham, now Alan Kennedy of Newcastle United. Tell you what, if they put their sub on Otolowski, that'll fox the referee if he takes his name. Lampard is a goal, Robson! And it's a goal. That lovely free kick by Lampard, putting it across and nobody moved. Bob Robson, who came through like a bullet.
I'm sure West Ham manager John Lyall is a lot happier than he looks at this moment watching that again. But it was a tremendous performance yesterday to come back in the way that you did. You must have felt, though, that you were dead when Tommy Cassidy's second goal went in for Newcastle.
Well, Brian, we'd had preparation wasn't ideal with a number of first-team players missing. And I must admit at that time I felt that we would have a great job getting anything out of the game. But I think that was a nice factor of it for me. The young players and the senior players got together. They kept playing their football, showed a lot of guts and showed a lot of character, forced their way back into the game, and possibly the thing that pleased me most was not just that we got 3 goals, there were the goals, the involvement of individuals and the collective effort of the team to get the goals, and I thought they were extremely good goals for us to get.
I suppose one of the virtues, in fact, of having so many players injured, you do get an idea of just how strong your whole squad is, because you're having to throw people in that you wouldn't normally throw in.
Well, last year we put lads like Devonshire, Pike, Curbishley was a little unfortunate with injuries, but he's now in the side. Young lad Brush has come in, so now we've developed 4 more players for the squad. And of course, when we get all the other lads back, we'll have a hell of a battle for places, which in itself is a good thing for a club. I think without competition, you're not going to have a good side. To be a great club, i.e. Liverpool, to have that, you've got to have quality players, probably 18 of them, to be successful.
But it's amazing that you've had so many injuries. I mean, is it something maybe in training that is not quite right, or is it pure accident, John, or what?
Well,
we've an incredible list, doesn't it?
Yes, we've searched into everything. We've looked at the problem of treating the injuries, and Rob Jenkins, our physiotherapist, is working round the clock. They can't have any more treatment. That's a fact. In training, we've not changed anything that we know of, but of course, none of the injuries are of similar nature. So basically, one just has to look and say, well, that's a spell you're going through. It's a difficult spell and it's a hard spell, but one has to accept this.
Tell me the first team players that are out at this moment, then. Just recap those for us.
There's Billy Bonds and Trevor Brooking, Bill Green, Mickey McGivern, John McDowell, Keith Coleman, John Radford, Jeff Pike. So it's a serious situation, really.
I can see why he's working around the clock. I think that the 2 names that spring to most people's mind are Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds. I mean, how near are they now to getting back to fitness?
Well, unfortunately, Billy's a little way off. He's having trouble with a calf now. He originally had a calf injury. It developed into a stomach muscle strain, and now it's gone back to a calf injury. He's just having that sort of spell that all footballers have. Nothing seems to go right. Fortunately, with Trevor, he began some light training during the week and may possibly get a game of some sort at the weekend. We'll really have to see how he responds during the week.
You're at home to Queen's Park Rangers next Saturday.
Yes.
Will he play in that one, Trevor, do you think?
Well, he's got a slight chance of playing, Brian, but obviously he's been out 2 or 3 weeks, so we won't risk him unless we have to.
In a word, a lot of West Ham fans are saying, well, I don't know, are we going to have a season of slog, or is it all going to come well when the injured players return? I mean, how optimistic are you?
Well, Brian, yesterday showed the quality of the players that we've got at West Ham. Basically, no one would have given us a chance. At 2-0 down, we could have accepted the problems of football and said, well, OK, we'll lose 4-0 and no one will mind. At half-time, I knew the players were going to win because they came in and, yes, I really did. I knew we were going to win at half-time.
They came in and what?
Well, they were so full of themselves and they were talking and they got all their confidence had come flooding back. Just the fact that we pulled 1 goal back away from home. Goals are a great factor and wins are a great factor, especially early on in the season. And the younger players, if you can get a goal, it gives them that lift that's necessary in the game. And it's easy for myself to criticise players and say they don't do this, they don't do that. But I'm not doing the job. When you're there under pressure, And our lads have been under pressure with the side ever changing. You lose balance in the team. Possibly the first goal against us was an example of not having practiced together, not having done the job as a group continually, having to change the side, and the little things that you talk about, they perhaps don't come off in one situation. They're the problems of football, and that's what our lads have gone through. But of
John.
course, if you come out over the top through it, then it's okay, isn't it?